Hey, what's up? This is Eric, and this is another fig that, for whatever reason, you just don't see a whole lot written about, and that may be because it's really similar to LDA. I don't have a true labeled named LDA. I have several that are very much like that. And this is one of those. This one's called Nordland, and it's been really reliable for me. It starts to ripen. Excuse me, still getting over that cold. It starts to ripen about the end of our season. It starts to ripen main crop. Mine's potted. It's not in the ground yet, but I fully intend on putting it in the ground at some point, whether through grafting or actually planting my mother tree in the ground. So the thing that I like about it is it's got relatively large fruit, but they seem to ripen decently well in cooler weather. So our temperatures and our weather has definitely turned. So it's kind of one of those things. You know, the season really is winding down in a lot of ways, but if you see here, I mean, it's still got honey coming out of the eye, relatively tight eye, but I mean, the honey closes it off. I have another one called Belclair Sport that's very similar to this. It's not as elongated, but that could just be, you know, some kind of environmental difference. I've reported a little bit about Grigio D'Aout this year, which is a tree that I got from Harvey as a cutting. It's very similar to this. And I have Longue D'Aout de Portugallo, which also seems relatively similar to these, though the fruit on it isn't quite as big and it seems to be darker. It's also not as flavorful, but this is an older tree. Excuse me. And if it's not the same variety, then maybe there are some discrepancies there. But I think Longue D'Aout de Portugallo, for me so far, has proven to be not as good. And I don't know how reliable it will be without having a greenhouse. So Grigio is kind of in the same boat, but I think it's, despite having had a greenhouse start, I think it's probably right here with Belclair Sport and Nordland for a lot of potential to ripen without needing it. So both Belclair Sport and Nordland ripen without the need of a greenhouse. So as you can see, it's a nice large fig. You know, it's roughly the size of a small pear. We'll do this. You'll have to excuse the puppy pool in the back. We had to dump it out because we had mosquito larvae in there. But the puppies love playing in the water. We have huskies that like the water. I don't get it. Oh, this is gonna be nice. All right. So that's what that thing looks like on the inside, and maybe as expected, with all that honey coming out of the eye, you can see how much it's pooled up there. There does seem to be a little bit of a cavity. This is the most nicely ripened one of these I've had this year, across all of the trees that I've had fruit from. So I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be fantastic. A buddy of mine, I gave him a tree. He owns a vineyard and makes his own terracotta amphora to age wine in. And I gave him one of these Nordland trees, and I was going to take this one to him, but he texted me tonight and he's got COVID. So dang it. So if he's watching, you know, I'll try to describe the flavor for you so you know what you're getting into. All right. Oh man. That's one of the best ripened figs I've had this year. Very, very thick pulp. It's got a lot of seed crunch, obviously very sweet and syrupy. That's just excellent, man. This tree really is a winner, and I think whether you're growing Longue D'Aout, Belclair Sport, Nordland, Grigio, everybody in the Pacific Northwest, I really strongly feel everybody in the Pacific Northwest should be growing one of these trees. It also produces a nice Breva main crop if you can get it to ripen in your microclimate. It's going to be one of the best figs you grow. So very sweet berry flavor, different than what you would get from like Desert King. Desert King, I think, kind of tastes like a combination of like strawberry and watermelon Jolly Rancher. If you were to melt those candies down into a syrup and pipe it into the inside of a fruit, that's kind of what Desert King tastes like. If these were ripening in the heat of July and August, when we get our Desert King Breva to ripen, I think they would be sweeter. Because they're ripening now, when the weather has started to turn and starting to get cooler, you know, there's a little bit more acidity, and a little bit more of the fruit punch kind of notes on the back end, that really do hit you on the back of the tongue. So it really is a fantastic fig. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this. This might be my dinner, but anyway, take care. See you on the next one. We're winding down. Not sure how much more I'm gonna have ripening this year, so but it's been a good year despite the weather and the early setbacks. There's been a lot that has ripened. There's been a lot that I've been able to taste for the first time, and I've got some at least mental notes that I can make for next year and for decisions on trees moving forward. So that's really the goal. So maybe on one of these videos sometime I'll kind of update things as far as like why I started doing this, and because it is really multifaceted. But in the dying light tonight, I've started putting my citrus trees back in my greenhouse. So I've got a few more that I'm gonna up pot and get them down in there. So anyway, take care, and catch you on the flip side.